Hey Jody, thanks for being here. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Jodi Bellam, and I live outside of Atlanta. And
Mhm.
I have a home care agency. I've had it for 15 years.
Okay.
I don't even know if you guys knew that or not,
No.
but because of having a home care agency and working with these people, one of the biggest problems, and you all know this, is they don't want to take a bath. They just get to a point where they don't want to take a bath, and there's
Yep.
so many different reasons for that. But from what I understand, most of it is dignity, which makes sense,
Hmm.
makes complete sense. And I always, one of the reasons why I created this garment was because of my mom. And we actually even had this conversation the other day that she's so glad that I have it. So when she does get to a point where I have to give her a bath, she doesn't have to take her clothes off in front of me
Hmm.
or a caregiver. So after talking to all of these people and working with these people for all these years, this man calls me one day and he's in tears. His mom lives with him and she will not let him give her a bath. Refuses. It's been like a month and it's just a bad situation. So I told him I was going to do some investigating to see if there was anything in the world that I could find to help him. And there was nothing at all,
No.
nothing. So I just started working on creating this garment and working on the designs, and we changed it many different times, different kinds of fabric, and this is finally what we came up with.
Do you have any like textiles background or like design
Oh,
background or
I, had,
anything like that?
I had
Okay.
zero idea what I was doing. I'm
Well,
one of those
all
people
right.
that I just do it. I
You
just
just
figured
do it.
out, make phone calls,
All
ask a
right.
million questions, and find the people to help me do it.
Good for you. Okay.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
said neoprene is like what like a wetsuit is made out of, right?
right.
So let's see this thing. You want to
Okay,
hold this up?
I'll
So
back up a little bit.
the reason I know about this, I saw somebody tag it on LinkedIn, and I was like, "What's
Right,
that?" Uh,
right,
and just was like, "This would be interesting, to talk about on the channel
right.
because I get asked about this bathing stuff all the time, and our clients are primarily senior living communities, and when we get in there, we're doing trainings like this just always comes up.
Yeah.
The bathing thing always comes up.
It
So
does.
this is a cool thing. So give us and obviously I've looked on the website, but give us kind of a breakdown on how this works.
Okay, so the garment is kind of a hospital gown shape. It's very boxy because you want it to have room so that when the caregivers unzip the zippers on the sides or on the front, it zips from the top down so that when somebody's sitting on their shower chair, you can zip this up just a little bit and wash this way too.
Mm-hmm.
And it has zippers on both sides, and there's a zipper head on the bottom as well as the top.
Nice.
Um, and so it's kind of a hospital shaped gown. It comes
Mm-hmm.
down right below your knee. So it makes you just feel really, really covered up and secure feeling, not embarrassed. And then because it's made out of neoprene, it keeps you really warm.
Cool.
Awesome.
Like I had this on at a meeting yesterday, and I have to wear it unzipped because it's so warm. And then I ended up having to take it off anyway because it's warm, dry,
Right.
but wet. You know how neoprene works. With a wetsuit. And in case nobody's ever worn a wetsuit, the neoprene is wet on the outside, and there's a layer of water on your skin, and then your body core heat works together to keep you warm in this when the water is off. Because some people will cover people up with towels so that they feel covered up, but the towels get
The
cold. You
towel's
have to
soaked. Right.
constantly wet them down constantly because as soon as
It gets
they get
cold.
cold like that,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
this does not. So
That's very clever.
yeah,
Have you taken this to Shark Tank or anything like
actually,
that?
I have applied, and it's a huge long process. But I
Okay.
applied like 2 months ago for the very
Oh,
first step.
cool.
So we'll see. I hope I can get on there.
Can we
But
Nice.
come with
the
you?
thing about
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I know the thing about assisted living, since you guys work with assisted living, is I have a wash. I don't have it in here, but it's a wetsuit wash, and it is a disinfectant wash. So people that are in assisted livings can buy these,
Right.
get the wash, and use them with multiple clients, wash them and share them. So everybody doesn't have to buy their own.
How
And I
much
have
is one of these individually?
one of them is $149.
Okay, I mean, that's really affordable for something that you're going to use again and again.
Well, and yeah, it's very, very, it's made in New York. It's really well made. It'll
Nice.
last one person forever.
Yeah, that's super makes a ton of sense, affordable.
Yeah.
I imagine it dries very quickly too, because it's
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely dried at least by overnight. Like they could take a shower in it every day.
cool.
And it's so versatile too. When we were watching your video, I really like that it can be worn, forwards or backwards, depending on the situation.
Yeah. And, with a towel, like I was like, okay, how does this thing work? But watching the video, and I encourage anyone watching this to also, we'll put a link in the description, but to watch the video
On your
on
website.
Jodi's site, and how exactly it works. But essentially, the person stays covered for the most part, and you can unzip it, like there's a part of pocket almost like a side, and you can unzip it and you can wash the person from here, but they're never fully exposed. I mean, maybe
you just need to unzip it, right? Just enough to stick your hand in. That's it.
Right. And I think that's a lot of times the dignity issue is a big piece of why someone doesn't want to bathe. And it's not the only reason someone living with a cognitive impairment may not want to, but especially, even in like a home care environment, if you're taking care of a relative, and if that relative is like, maybe you're a daughter and you're taking care of your dad, he may be like, "Ooh, I'm not gonna let my daughter like
Isn't that odd?
shower." Like it's very awkward, and he may be like, "Whatever, I don't care." But a lot of men are probably gonna be like, "Ooh, no," like very uncomfortable with that. I mean, yeah. So this, and like you said, what you're probably gonna do is, cover them in towels, and the towels get soaked, and
it's just a mess
and cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. This makes a ton of sense to me. Honestly, this makes so much sense. So yeah, we like to keep these things short and sweet so people want to like learn more. What's the best way for people to learn more? Is it just to go to your website?
Yeah, and actually I did a video with a guy that is at a assisted living near here and they're using them with their whole, they bought them for memory care, but there's actually people who are in the AL side that are liking them as well. And they'll go, can I use the Blue Hug today? And then sometimes they don't care. If they don't feel good, or if they're just especially cold, like my dad was cold all the time because he was on a lot of heart medicine. So medications make you really cold, and then you've got people who are just fearful. They don't trust you. They're paranoid. Just a million different reasons, and it's just comforting.
Yeah, it really does makes a lot of sense. I'm kind of amazed nobody developed it before.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining you looked far and wide to find something like this, found nothing. I mean, really, but like that's the thing. My first book about moving somebody to a dementia care community, when I was a dementia care director and I had my blog, Dementia by Day, about dementia care, people were asking me questions like, well, what happens, when my dad says this, or I need to move, my wife here, what should I tell her? And I thought, well, there's got to be some resources out there about this. Nothing. And so that's when I started the blog that eventually became my first book, because I couldn't believe there weren't any books about moving somebody to memory care. So my book was like the first one on the market. It just amazed me, like nobody
wrote something specific.
Nobody wrote something about this before, but nobody did.
Right.
So I don't, like someone's got to be the first to do it. So you are the first one to do this.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool product. Anything you want to add for the people watching this YouTube video?
Well, like you said, people can go to my website. It's thebluehug.com, and there's testimonials on there. And I do have a girl that's here in Atlanta that did a video, and she works for a home care agency because she loved it so much. And then I've got my little video on there that's like a how-to tutorial sort of video. And then people can go straight to the website and buy them. right from there. And there's a size chart. And like I said, you want them to be a little bit big. So that I figured out, if you wear a size 10 dress, this is what size garment you want to get. So I've got
Awesome.
6
You have
different
a size
sizes.
guide on there
That
and
makes a lot of sense,
everything.
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So it's easy, and I've not had any problems at all with people saying that it doesn't fit. So thank God it worked, because it took me a really long time to figure out how to,
I'm sure.
size it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's not traditional sizes.
Cool. Well, thank you. Stay on, but we'll wrap this video recording piece. Thank you everybody for checking out this video, and you can learn more in the description below. Be sure to check out Jodi's website.